I think above all, my goal is really to be a good mother and a good role model for my daughter. We constantly talk about how girls can be anything you want to be. She's asking, can I be a vet? And I was like, yes, you can be a vet. Can I be a lawyer? Yes, you can be a lawyer. So you can do
Mhm.
whatever you want to do.
Mhm.
So she sees me, in meetings and writing things and in phone calls.
Mhm.
So she's like, she wants to work with mommy.
Good afternoon, Dara. Yes, obviously you are joining from the home. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So where you based?
I'm based in Den Haag, in the Netherlands.
So you live with your family.
I do, yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I have 3 dogs and a daughter and a husband.
You start talking talking. You start talking the dog first before about the daughter. So busy life. So quite busy life.
Busy life for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So that today we are talking about your professional career and ask some question as a mother. So first of all, Anna, I understand your role is the marketing and communication for Fujifilm Healthcare Europe, which joined Fujifilm the family quite recently. It's about 1 year. So please tell us your the function.
Yeah.
So what's the challenge you're facing? Yeah.
So it is a very challenging position, but I think that makes it exciting because my days is very varied. So there's a lot happening in healthcare at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to keep up with the trends inside the company, but also outside Fujifilm. So I think looking at opportunities to communicate the brand in a unique way is really what keeps me going, and that's the challenge.
Mm-hmm. I see. Yeah, obviously in Europe, we have a so-called the big three competitors that dominated in the category. Yeah, so but Fujifilm as a company, they're totally committed to the healthcare as the strategy. So I think the challenge to you is increasing and never stop. I think so. Zara, you joined the Fujifilm or the previously at that time the still Hitachi Medical Europe?
Yes, so that was in October 2020.
Okay, 2020. So you joined a very, I would say, the interesting the timing because that time the still you already knew that company would be part of Fujifilm Group.
Yes.
And also in the middle of the pandemic. So October 2020, last year, maybe situation is a little bit relaxed, but the next wave would be coming. That kind of the challenging time. So so I presume it took some time before you physically met your team after you joining.
That's right. Yeah, it was very peculiar situation. So I had my recruitment interviews online. Everything was done online, and I only saw my colleagues, my team, my manager face to face exactly a year after I joined. So it was very exciting to see everyone. Finally, you work with these people every day, so it was really good to see them finally face to face.
Exactly. So when you were interviewed, the still company was Hitachi, and when you met the team, so after you. It became the Fujifilm company, Fujifilm Healthcare.
Correct. Yeah.
That's good. So it seems you have the big passion and your words, and I say it's a little bit the early days, but could you tell me about the aspect of your role in Fujifilm, which you are you love the most, and what kind of the soft skills you think you consider to be essential in your work?
Yes, yeah. So I do see myself as a connector. by establishing like good relationships and collaborating with the country teams, but also with our product divisions, making our activities cohesive and outstanding. So that's a big thing for me. It's important to also understand the way people think and behave, and what makes them thrive as well. And I feel like in my role, I have the opportunity to make things happen for my team. So I think essentially in terms of soft skills, you need to have a huge dose of resilience, empathy, and I think respect for everyone's opinions as well. So, and of course, a great deal of time management, because there's just so many things that we are doing and we have to comply with so many deadlines as well.
I see. So you are supporting how many countries?
Oh my gosh, we are supporting around seven countries.
7 countries, yeah.
Yeah.
And from the product category wise, CT, MRI, and ultrasound, yeah.
That's right, yeah.
So many, yeah. So quite matrix, and quite a lot of things to do. So as you mentioned, the time management is the critical part of your success. As being a professional as well as the women. So what is the goal for both professional side and the life side? And you already been successful the professional already, but as you mentioned earlier, you are the mother of the girl. So actually, I'm the father of a girl. It's not a girl already, the lady already 26 years old, the daughter. Yeah. So so being the mother, certainly trains many skills. So for example, that's exactly what you mentioned, time management, right? So that's kind of the skills you need. Yeah.
I think in terms of professional life goals, like I think above all, my goal is really to be a good mother and a good role model for my daughter. And it's funny because we're constantly, and she's 7 right now, so she's kind of learning. She's in school and she's learning about going to university and things like that. So we constantly talk about how girls can be anything you want to be. She's asking, can I be a vet? And I was like, yes, you can be a vet. Can I be a lawyer? Yes, you can be a lawyer. So you can do whatever you want to do. But for now, she wants to work with me. So she sees me, in meetings and writing things and in phone calls. So she's like, she wants to work with mommy. So I'm like thinking maybe one day she can be part of a Fujifilm family as well.
Good idea or bad idea? I cannot comment. Yeah.
I think so. I mentioned about time management. Definitely plays a huge role in being a full-time working mother, as you do have to juggle everything that you're doing at work, but then you have to do pickups, drop-offs at school, everything extracurricular activities. And of course, at the same time, I'm also continuing educating myself. So I'm trying to learn new skills all the time, because you have to in what we do. We have to keep everything up to date. Now, professionally, I feel there's just so many opportunities inside Fujifilm, and if you're not afraid of change and challenges, I think really the sky is the limit inside the company.
I see. So your daughter is still 7 years old.
7 going on 17. She has a big attitude.
Okay. Yeah, so mine's at 26, and she never thought about joining the Fujifilm. So she decided to very independent way, and actually she's the writer for The Economist in the UK magazine. Nice. Working in Japan for Japanese branch, and she decided to be professional in lighting. So that's quite difficult, quite different from what the fathers decided. Yeah.
For sure. Wow, that's interesting too.
Yeah, maybe it's a bit too early to say, but so far to date, what is your greatest success in Fujifilm?
Yeah, the greatest one, because I started less than 2 years ago. It would have been really the merge being able to connect with in so many levels with the new team inside Fujifilm. You know, we are already working as a company, working in an integrated approach, even though we are not, you know, still one company. But to be honest, I think above all, I need to give a shout out to my team. We are a very tight knit team of ladies as well, and my team is really the backbone of everything we do in marketing communications.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. You already, you know, touched many things about the change. Yeah, I think, you know, rather than being afraid of the change, but also, you know, more, but you know, appreciate or, you know, accept the change, and take the change as, you know, the opportunities. So that's the very important part, and I think you have a good talent to manage those changes, right? And you have a passion, intelligence, and you know, all those things will lead to the growth on the company and for yourself, and hopefully your family as well, right? So I think, you know, that's very good things, all good things, the lesson from you today. So the Fujifilm, the healthcare, and the medical business, you know, we just started 1 year ago, and after 1 year, I glad to see already we have seen that so many, you know, good collaboration, understanding each other. So I think that I see tremendous opportunities, right? For two companies, and hopefully will become, you know, one team eventually. So thanks for your valuable contribution already, and I look forward to keep your success.
Thank you, Toshi.
Yeah, thank you very much.